Man, what up, family? What's good? Hope everyone's having a blessed Sunday, man. First Sunday, that is, of NFL action. Week 1 is upon us, and there has been some good games going on. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. This is another installment of the Southern Ballers Show. Of course, I have my Southern Ballers Collective with me. Of course, I have my co-host, Coach 67 Sports TV. What's going on?
I'm blessed and highly favored. How are y'all gentlemen doing this afternoon?
Can't complain, man. Can't complain at all.
Hey man, just happy football back home, man. College and professional.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Of course, I see my brother, Big Joe. Salute to the family. Salute Big Joe. And salute to Adrian Cook. He said, what's good, man? What's good? Brent Fox said, salute, brothers. I'll try to get on as soon as I can. Happy first Sunday. Yes, sir. And Coach 67, saluting to everybody. All right. Man, I just watched the Pittsburgh and Jets game. Man, hate to say it, man. Even though it's just week 1, Aaron Rodgers, he did okay. He did good. Very good game, and not only Aaron Rodgers, man, but old boy looked good as well.
Justin Fields, man. Justin Fields was balling.
Yeah, Justin Fields answered all the questions, all the hate. Everybody said he's just a running quarterback, can't make the throws. Well, he was very, very serviceable and kept the Jets
in the passing game.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir. And of course, I have my other co-host, Big Joe, LDBC Business in the building. What's good, man?
What's good with y'all? Happy football Sunday. What's going on with y'all?
Man, we enjoying these games, man.
Yes, sir.
And my brother, Big Reg, host of Big Boy Talk, he said, what's up, fellas? Man, what's good, Big Reg? And as if you don't know, I have a lot of great content creators following me, as a Big Reg and Brent Fox, and of course, Coach 67 Sports TV. So, y'all please support these brothers. Also have a businessman on here with me, Big Joseph Townsend. He is trying to push he's part owner of the product, Old Hillside Bourbon. I'm gonna put the picture up on the screen. Y'all can y'all can Google Old Hillside Bourbon in Google and get you a bottle if you're interested, or if you like to drink.
Or if you know somebody in your family that like to sit back and have a cup of, bourbon, just sit back and chill. Especially for our responsible drinkers out there,
Yes, sir. So please support the brother, man. But fellas, man, we're gonna go in, and D-Man Jr. saying, what's up, D-Man? He said, we in here. Always support, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, you did, Big Reg. You did call it, man. And we're going to get into it. Man, let's get these scores out the way. And there's a link, fellas, in the chat, ladies and gents, if you are interested. All right. I'm not going to do all the games, man. So, unfortunately, if you like a West Michigan fan or some shit like that, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to go over the score unless you guys played a big time.
You ain't gonna tell me if Western Kentucky won? That what you saying, brother?
No, we're gonna be here all day.
Eastern Carolina?
Hey,
no?
they play only if they play the money game. They play LSU.
Western Washington? No, I'm playing. All right, go ahead.
But let me tell you one that was a massacre. Ohio State versus Grambling. Saturday they got blown out 70-0. And of course, me and Coach will cover that during HBCU Fanatics Thursday or Friday. Louisville beat James Madison 28-14. Western Illinois loses to Northwestern 42-7. Northern Illinois loses to Maryland 29. Boise State beats up on Eastern Washington 51-14. Penn State beat Florida International 34-0. Louisiana Tech loses to LSU Tigers 23-7. That was a little too close to my liking. That was very close. Georgia beats Austin Peay 28-6. Bethune-Cookman loses to, of course, those Miami Hurricanes 45-3. Oregon beats up on Oklahoma State 69-3. And believe it or not, ladies and gents, because everybody was watching this game since Arch Manning didn't play good last week. But San Jose State played a tough game, believe it or not, against the Texas Longhorns, but still, they lose to Texas Longhorns 38-7. Before I continue, anybody want to say anything about that game? Because commentators was trying to, I guess, massage Arch Manning's emotions. Oh, he's gonna get better. And
that boy a 6th-round pick.
Yeah, he was throwing picks. He threw a pick.
Yeah, he's. I keep hearing the word generational talent. Keep hearing the word Heisman hopeful. I keep hearing the word 1st-round draft pick, and I don't see it. Not saying he can't play in the NFL, but the expectations they put upon him was put upon by folks who want him to be better than, we perceive to be a great quarterback as in Shedeur Sanders. So, hey, he has some good throws. He has some terrible throws. The fact that Texas didn't beat San Jose State by 70 lets me further know that the whole Texas team as a whole ain't that good. So we're going to see what they do going forward.
And we got a Louisiana brother in here. He know about all the high school and college. Adrian Crook, he said he didn't play against anyone in high school.
No.
He played a bunch of bad shape, slow white.
Yeah. If you look at his tape, the D linemen, they all short. Most of them, pudgy, ain't going nowhere. No steep competition, So, hey, what's his name? Dan Orlowski, Jordan Palmer. Yeah, all of them, they doing their best glazing out here with extra glaze.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely, man. And I want to correct myself. He threw only one interception, but it was bad. He threw it straight to the DB in the end zone.
Oh, my God.
You saw that, JB?
Boy, I was like, man, this. I mean, he didn't look no safety off. He threw it like he just knew it was a touchdown. It was terrible.
The worst throw I seen him throw was when he threw the ball at the feet of his wide receiver and he went to them pain like his shoulder hurt or something. Hey, whatever.
Yeah, ain't nothing hurt but his pride. But let me continue on the scores, man. Hey, Clemson had to beat Troy off with a stick. Clemson survived beating Troy 27-16. It was a very good game. South Carolina State loses to South Carolina 38-10. That was competitive until the second half. Illinois beat up on Duke 45-19. Duke was hanging in there until the second half. Mississippi State came back and beat Arizona State. They were down mainly the whole game until the second half.
Yeah, that's another dude they was hyping up, that quarterback from Arizona State. I think Lewitt. Yeah, he not that all that good. And Scat. That's goes to show you how good Scatterbo was for that team last year.
Yeah, Scatterboo was their offense. You over with the New York Giants now. Uh, now we gonna talk about it, man. But for the second time, those South Florida Bulls knock off a ranked team. So they knocked off their in-state big brother for years. Those Florida Gators, 18-16. We're gonna cook on it, man. We're gonna cook on it. So y'all just save your ammo. East Texas A&M gets blown out by Florida State, 77-3. Michigan falls to Oklahoma, 24-13.
That was a good defensive game. Both QBs is good. The Underwood dude is good. He still got a lot to learn. But that dude from Ohio, Mateer,
Mateer,
Mateer, he the truth. He the truth. Now he did throw a pick in that game, but he made up for it
Okay.
and got his team to win.
All right. And Iowa State rivals versus Iowa. Iowa State.
That was a good game. That's
very good game.
That's always a defensive game.
Yeah, always. They do not like each other. But Iowa State came up on top. Baylor came back and beat SMU 48-45.
What?
Double overtime.
Sure did.
What?
Sure did. Yeah.
I just flipped over to another game. I thought SMU had that in the bag. Because that boy Jennings and them was driving on Baylor. They didn't let the Bears come back and Lord have mercy. In the words of Joe Town.
Let me tell you what white boy quarterback everybody's sleeping on. That dude Sawyer Robertson, number 13 for Baylor. Don't sleep on him. He better than the Arch Manning. Put it in writing right now. He better than the Arch Manning.
Damn.
Yeah, I said it. Texas A&M beats up on Utah State 44-22. Kentucky loses to Ole Miss in a very good game, 30-23. And if those
you hit a Louisville player laughing.
Yeah, those who don't wonder why Big Joe is laughing because his bitter rivals lost. Because if you don't know, Big Joe is a Louisville alum. So he loving it. Alabama beats up on UL Monroe 73-0. East Tennessee State gets the brakes beat off them by Tennessee 72-17. Indiana beats up on Kennesaw State 56-9. Texas Tech blows out Kent State 62-14. Utah blows out Cal Poly. Minnesota blows out Northwestern State. Let me get to the good games, ladies and gentlemen. North Carolina State barely beats University of Virginia 35-31. That was a good game. ACC matchup. Very good ACC matchup. Pittsburgh beat Central Michigan 45-17. Now here's the game that was good. Syracuse comes back, and close your ears, Big Reg, because Big Reg is a UConn fan. Syracuse comes back and beats Connecticut 27-20 in overtime, and their head coach made them run after the game because he didn't like how their team played. So the black head coach of Syracuse have some have some high school vibes, bro. He did not appreciate that. And shout out
That's
to
old school.
yeah, that's very old school, but it may be needed nowadays. Stephen Boone said, "Go Cars." L1C4.
Yeah, that's right. See, that's right. That's my dog. Hold on, hold on. Who that is? Yeah,
Stephen
that's my
Boone.
dog right there. That's my dog. That's my homie right there. We went to school together. We graduated together. That's my dog, L1C4. He know what it is. His son is the one that made the video I sent y'all, the editing video. That's his son.
Oh man, salute to your son
Yeah,
is very talented,
yeah,
man, and I
yeah,
appreciate your support, man.
yeah.
Salute, brother.
Yeah, peace and blessings to you. Peace and blessings to you.
And we got Cedric Walker in the building. He said, "Greetings, chat and panel. Go JSU Tigers." Okay, all right. We got my HBCU collective coming in. Appreciate y'all, man. And as usual, Adrian and Israel Carey going back and forth. Southern and JSU bitter rival fans going back and forth in the chat. But going back to the score, so Jacksonville State beats Liberty 34-24. Temple blows out Howard 55-7. Colorado beats 31-7, excuse me. Let's pause it here. So you know, one of our topics is we're gonna cook on the Coach Dion had to play 3 quarterbacks. So you know the saying, if you got to play 3 quarterbacks, you have no quarterback. But we gonna cook on it. Because I don't want to be long-winded. What's the more important games I'm missing? And then we're gonna talk about the HBCU
Well,
games.
I think didn't Miami play yesterday? Did the Hurricanes play?
They played
Who?
Bethune.
Yeah, that's the HBCU section. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they beat the brakes off of FAMU, you know.
BYU blows out Stanford 27-3. And Sam Houston.
Andrew Luck is the general manager for Stanford now.
Yeah. I saw
he got his work cut out for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Hawaii beats Sam Houston State. Georgia Southern was hanging in there for the first 2 quarters with USC Trojans, but that depth was too much, and they ended up winning 59-20. But this is not your daddy back in the gap. Okay, so back in the gap, man, when USC would have had Lindell Wide or Reggie Bush on the squad, and they played Georgia Southern, they would have blew them out probably 80 to something. But not now. Not nowadays, because these teams now, for one, Georgia Southern is now FBS. But these kids are going where they're going to play. So you thinking you're going to just blow out teams and everything? Example, Colorado thought they was going to beat up on Delaware. Nope.
Delaware had a couple of players, don't they?
Yeah. Especially that white boy slot wide receiver Thor.
Yep. Yeah, he turned their ass up.
He was tearing Hodge up in the slot. And Hodge is one of their best corners. Or believed to be. Yes, sir. And then we're going to go move on, which we're going to cover in detail on the HBCU Fanatics, but I do want to cover the HBCU games. So Delaware State came back and beat University of Albany 37-32. So congratulations to Coach Deshaun Jackson for getting his first college victory. Also, Norfolk State came back and beat bitter rival Virginia State 34-31 in overtime. So also congratulations to Coach Michael Vick for getting his first victory. And what did didn't I say this, Coach, on the HBCU Fanatics? People talk about, oh, they should blow Virginia State out there, Division II HBCUs, and I was like, y'all haven't seen CIAA ball. Them boys scrapping.
Yeah.
Them Virginia State,
yeah.
Virginia Union. If you sleep on them, if you want to, ask Alabama State when they played Tuskegee. Those Division two schools are very scrappy. With them schools, you got to make sure you put your foot on their throat and let them know they use a superior HBCU. But Coach, what was your comments on? I'm gonna go around the panel on this one because I'm happy for them brothers. What's your opinion on Coach Deshaun Jackson and Michael Vick getting their first victory? Coach, I'm gonna go with you first.
I mean, I think it's a good milestone for them to get, but when you had the kind of success they had as professionals, that one dub is, you hope, is the first of many. So it's a good milestone, but it ain't that you want to dwell on. Hey, you get this win, now you want to move on to the next one. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Big Joe, what's your thoughts on Deshaun Jackson and Michael Vick getting their first victory in college ball?
Congrats to both of those brothers. They both have they got a lot of publicity in the off season, for their respective schools. And their hard work is paying off. They both started off the season with the loss, but then, they made adjustments. They came together as a team and they got a win. As a coach, as a first year coach, it's always good to get that first win. So now you know what that feels like. Getting a win as a player is one thing, but getting a win as a coach is a totally different feeling. Because you're looking at the game now from a totally different lens. You are pretty much, you're running this whole program here. So everything falls on you. So whether it's good or bad. So now they have the taste of success. Now they're going to use this win as a foundation, as a building block for what they want to build for their respective schools. And all they can do is keep climbing up from there. I'm sure they're going to get some more wins. You're going to get some more losses. But you're always going to forget that first win, like you ain't going to forget your first love or the first time, you got some nookie. The first time is always one of the ones you ain't going to forget. Or when you start a business, that first $100 bill you get. It's the first time is always the most memorable one. Now just build on that and keep on going.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, and going down to the score so we can get to the topics. We already mentioned Ohio State blowing out Grambling. North Dakota State blew out Tennessee State 59-3. Southern Miss had a very competitive game against Jackson State 38-20. So even though Southern Miss is a PWI, Jackson State said they will not go down easy. But they still end up losing.
You mean a FBS PWI?
Yeah, FBS PWI. A lot of people don't know that. I ran into one person that thought Southern Miss was a FCS school because they're not a Power 5 program. Yes, Southern Miss is a FBS program. Old Dominion unfortunately beat up on those North Carolina Central Eagles 54-6. California beat up on Texas Southern 35-3. I already said FAU. No, I didn't. FAU beat Florida A&M 56-14. Hampton beat Another scrappy Division II school, Elizabeth City State, 27-20. Already mentioned Norfolk State beating Virginia State in overtime. Already mentioned Miami blowing out Bethune-Cookman. Already mentioned South Carolina beating South Carolina State Bulldogs. And Alabama A&M beats Alcorn State 41-31. Tarleton State blows out Mississippi Valley 59-3. Central Arkansas Central Arkansas blows out Pine Bluff 41-17. Alabama State unfortunately beats Coach's Jaguars 37. University of Texas Rio Grande Valley barely beat Prairie View A&M 27-20. Towson barely beat Morgan State 27-22. And UCF blows out North Carolina A&T 68-7. Coach, I want you to save what you can for the HBCU fanatics. But what happened against Southern? What happened against Alabama State?
Well, truthfully speaking, ineffective quarterback play, too many turnovers, poor coaching, poor play calling. Southern trailed at half 6-0. Then Southern got the ball to start the second half. They went down the field. They scored a touchdown. Alabama State answered with a touchdown. Then Southern fumbled the ball. Alabama State settled for a field goal. They was up 16-7. Then my nephew was like, I got to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, oh, man. So I'll bring him to the bathroom. I'll come back. Alabama State has the ball again. And I'm like, what happened? They, when they was running read option, they fumbled at the mesh point, whatever. Second week in a row. Like last week against Valley, they did it on back-to-back possessions. They did it on back-to-back possessions yesterday. And the score went from 16-7 to 23-7. And they fumbled 4 times in the second half. I mean, you went from being up 7-6, and then next thing you know, the score is 23-7. You was up 7-6, and next thing you know, the score is 23-7. And then when it got to the point where it was about to be 30-7, I made a quick exit. I couldn't stomach the nonsense. Southern defensively, they like a Pop-Tart. It's off in the middle. Essentially, you got a preseason All-American. You got a preseason All-American and 3 substitute defensive linemen. All these preseason swag defensive backs they're not playing too hot either. You got the transfer from LSU, but trying to feed him the ball like 40 times a game. Him and the boy from UTEP/Jacksonville State, Mike Franklin. Like they're trying to give Trey Harden and Mike Franklin the ball all the time. I think they threw the ball way too much. So at the end of the day, Terrence Graves, he leaves a lot to be desired as a head coach. Mark Frederick is a trash offensive coordinator. And, it's probably going to be a little minute before Jalen Woods comes back because he got a concussion against Grambling Bayou Classic last year. He got a concussion last week against Mississippi Valley. If you're lucky, he's back by the Jackson State game, but I wouldn't even rush him back because, this is the second concussion he done had, within a certain time frame. So I wouldn't rush him back, but as long as Cameron McCoy is in the game, essentially he's a glorified running back playing quarterback. I wouldn't even line up his spread because turn the ball over 6 times. 6 times in 2 weeks. That's not including the interception he threw in the end zone on the first possession of the game. So if I was the offensive coordinator for Southern right now, what I would do is I wouldn't even line up in the gun. I would line up under center and turn around and hand the ball off. Only time I'm lining up in the shotgun is when I'm throwing the ball. But that inside zone, trying to run inside zone 40 times a game, it ain't gonna work. But at the end of the day, too many penalties, too many turnovers, trash, whack officials. But you can't blame it all on officials. Southern is a undisciplined team. I'll probably say maybe with the last 30 years, despite who the coach, Southern is one of the most penalized teams in the SWAC. In addition to that, your defense and carried you the last few years. The defense ain't what it once was. You're struggling, especially teams phase of the game. At one point, the punt returner, he had like 5 Alabama State players around exciting, but none of them behind him. The boy, I fielded a punt on a 5-yard line. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Move out the way and let the ball go in the end zone. So at the end of the day, it's like a lot of it's coaching. I mean, if it's me, I'll get rid of Terrence Graves and Mark Frederick, and I'll let Fred McNair be the interim head coach. And it depends on what he do. If he, more than likely, all of these guys, pretty much Eric Dooley guys, after the season, I'll burn it down, start from scratch. In fact, you might want to get rid of Roman Banks too, but at the end of the day, Southern leaves a lot to be
Clean
desired.
house.
You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, without question. I mean, you can't be a blue blood in HBCU football and play like a bottom feeder.
Yeah, we gonna cook on it. We gonna cook on it, man. Friday. But shout out to Christopher Dukes. He said he agreed with you, Coach, as far as the Southern defense being weak. He said weak as sugar water. But moving on to the topics, man.
And Coach, don't be mad. My team sucked too.
North Carolina. Oh, we got to talk about this real fast. Bill Belichick's premier first game as UNC Tar Heels first coach, first time being head coach in college, was a disaster. Getting blown out by TCU. It was bad. JB, what happened there? You being a Tar Heel fan, what the hell happened?
I'll talk about both games quickly as possible because I know you want to get into the topics. So first game against TCU, when our first position, we went right down the field and scored.
Right.
Caleb Hood got into the end zone. Gio Lopez, threw a great ball to a receiver in the corner, and to put us in position in the red zone to score. After that, really, we didn't really do too much on offense. The defense is, and keep in mind, we got 70 transfers this year. So at this point, these next 4 games, we're trying to figure out who good, who trash, what we are. Right off the bat, I'm not liking the offensive play calls, which is what's your boy from Cleveland who used to be the
Freddie Kitchens.
Freddie Kitchens used to be the head coach for Cleveland. I'm not a fan of his. Didn't really care for him when he was in the NFL. Don't really care for him as our offensive coordinator. But after we scored, we didn't really do shit. TCU had 2 good outside receivers. They picked on our boy Allen, number 29, and the other dude, 21. I forget his name. Caleb Cox. And they were just digging and dunking down the field. Now I told Joseph Town this on conversation behind the scenes. I said that TCU quarterback is pretty good. They went 8-4, 8-5 last year. Even they were a middle of the road football team, but they were probably one of the best teams on offense. After we struggled because we had not consistent offensively, and we holding them the best way we could in the first half. In the second half, they just come out and run a 70-something yard touchdown down our throat. And after that, it was just ass whooping after ass whooping as far as possessions. And then everybody was there. They got their ass whooping for everybody. I'm talking about Michael Jordan was there, LT. Everybody saw you get your ass whooping for everybody. Now, um, that happens. As far as me, I was upset, but I knew that was a possibility because if that TCU team was better than everybody was saying. Like during the game, we were saying, "Oh, they going against TCU," and talking about Carolina and Bill Belichick don't even really know what type of players he got. He just got there. You know what I'm saying? And then when you got 70 players that just moved in, it's going to take some time to implement your system. Um, Now, I was worried about some things in the first game that I saw in the second game yesterday. When we played against Charlotte, and Joseph Townsend and me mentioned it last episode with Colorado. You offensive coordinators that love to run those damn running back screens, bubble screens behind the line of scrimmage. Charlotte was not fooled, especially your offensive receivers are not aggressive enough at the point of attack to run those type of plays. Did your wide receivers, as soon as they kick the ball, they get popped. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of that going on. Right. So every time we decide to play old school man-on-man football, you know, get a tight end, two tight ends, maybe a tackle over or something like that, and we run the ball, we was able to get, some yards. And we was supposed to against a Charlotte team that doesn't look that good. But keep in mind, we don't look good either because we don't know who we are. And that defense is, once they play somebody with a quarterback just like TCU with a post, we're going to get eat alive. So I'm just expecting us to win 4 games this year. Damn. Long story short.
So how long you think we're going to keep the old man, Bill Belichick?
A year or 2. Okay. This year, 4 games. Next year, if his system or whatever he don't want to implement, or the players he want to bring in, it doesn't work, we still losing games, and Freddie Kitchen still making us, that game yesterday could have been more easier than it had to be. It was just play call. But if Freddie Kitchen still weren't running them dumbass plays, Bill ain't gonna be there long, bro.
Okay, and Big Joe and Coach, I know y'all don't give a damn about the Tar Heels, but y'all have any thoughts about this topic?
Well, I don't know if I said I don't give a damn. I was a commit to go over there and did visit the university, so I do have I do have a little obligation to them. Hey, I ain't see the game yesterday. I knew they were playing nobody, so I figured they were gonna win that one. But I sure seen the first game, and I must say, they definitely not ready. He's being more petty with the Patriots than he needs to be with his players. He got more time to hang out with his girl than he got more time to scout the other team, I see. He needs to figure out what kind of culture they're going to have in North Carolina. If they're going to compete in the ACC where you have a Florida State who ain't playing with nobody, their quarterback look like a Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah.
You got Louisville in the conference, who look like an okay team this year. And you also got Miami, who definitely ain't playing this year either. So North Carolina got to figure out what team they want to be. And they showed up against a TCU team who's a veteran team. When Dion went to Colorado and he had all those transfers and whatnot in the first game they played, They at least put up 40-some points. It looked okay. Everybody can't get 30, 40 transfers and 70 new players and have them ready to play on day one. Everybody underestimated Coach Prime doing that. Now we see Bill Belichick do it, and you see him get blown out at home in front of Michael Jordan, in front of Lawrence Taylor, in front of Julius Peppers, in front of all them good, wholesome white folk over there. They get blown out at home. They got blown out so bad, folks left the game in the third quarter with 9 minutes to go, like a Shakur Stevenson fight. Folks just leaving. Just leaving. So, Bill Belichick got his defensive coordinator as his son. He look like he ain't ready to coach either. So, we going to see. College is about developing. College is about adapting. Everybody's learning on the job, whether it's coaches and players. But for somebody who had the amount of hype that he had in the offseason, his team wasn't ready to play. Like I told my homie SBZ in the comments, there was more hype about who Belichick was as a coach than who was the players on the North Carolina team. I didn't even know who was even on the team. Everybody kept talking about Bill Belichick and his girlfriend. So, hey, we'll see how much recruit he gonna do. We're gonna see how much NIL money they wouldn't spend in North Carolina. I know they got the Jordan brand. Is Michael Jordan willing to put some money in their pocket for some NIL? I don't know. Or as of right now, they look like they ain't ready to compete. Look like they just in the ACC conference. They just willing participants. They ain't ready to compete yet. So yeah, I wasn't impressed and I wasn't satisfied with them getting blown out at home, by the way, against TCU team.
Me neither, man. And Cedric Walker said, Belichick is being watched by the NCAA with that cheating. That's why he will lose. He found out that the NCAA is not like his homeboys in the NFL.
Well, when it comes to me, I'm gonna say the quiet part out loud. Many people think Bill Belichick is the greatest NFL coach of all time. I didn't buy into that. I felt like with the New York Giants when the Giants won their last Super Bowl under Bill Parcells, Belichick was a defensive coordinator. I felt like at that time he was a great defensive coach. But you went on and you coached the Browns and you was hot garbage. And then you didn't even actually coach the Jets. It's like you got to the Jets and then you're like, nah, you skirt, you left, and you ended up going with the Patriots, whatever. And realistically, until Mo Lewis made that fatal hit, realistically, he wasn't doing all that good with the Patriots either. So once he got hurt and you had to bring Brady in, then all of a sudden, hey, they took off. And realistically, without Brady, he really didn't do a whole lot with the Patriots. So at the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think North Carolina hiring him was a great fit. I know HBCU fanatics, you felt like Belichick just positioned and stuff so where his son could take over. But truthfully speaking, he ain't doing nothing for his son to take over. And I mean, it ain't. I mean, if they were able to do the kind of job Florida State did in terms of the NIL money and recruiting, you got to have a hellified scouting department that's going to go out and get you a blue chip quarterback, and not only get a blue chip quarterback, get you some dogs across the board, but you can't like literally change your whole team and just think like Big Joe said, you're going to hit the ground running week one. Like, honestly, I don't feel like he a college fit. We seen, some of these NFL coaches come down to the college ranks. Like, it's a different game. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just like you can't expect a coach that's going to win a national championship in college just to go up to the NFL and wave a magic wand and have success in the NFL. Like, it doesn't work that way. And truthfully speaking, I'm not saying he's not a great NFL coach. I felt like he was overrated with all the cheating stuff he did with the Patriots. Then in addition to that, I mean, if you go back and look at what he did when he was with the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, like he didn't do jack nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, and until Mo Lewis made that sudden hit, I mean, on Bledsoe, I mean, guess what? He wasn't lighting the world on fire for the Patriots either. I felt like, you know, he felt like he could have won with Jimmy Garoppolo, but I mean, hey, we never know. But at the end of the day, uh, I don't see him being a good fit for the college ranks. Me, if I'm a AD right now, I want a coach that has some success on the college level. Maybe you bring up a lower tier FCS coach to your program, or if not, you get you another. I'm not saying always go for the big name guy on a college level. I'm just saying Bill Belichick is not the move. You know what I'm saying? I was never sold on him being the right fit for North Carolina. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, and honestly, like I don't even blame North Carolina for hiring Bill Belichick. A lot of these old coaches have been getting recycled for a long time. Let's be 100. Bill Belichick is in his 70s. How much more coaching is he gonna do at North Carolina? He's 73 years old. They're gonna coach there to what he's 77 to he 80. You know what I mean? And like North Carolina, their last coach was Mac Brown. Mac Brown won a national championship at Texas. They held on to that man forever until he was so bad they had to fire him and replace him with Charlie Strong, my old coach. And then y'all bring in Mac Brown thinking he gonna give y'all some Vince Young juju, and then y'all wasn't doing good either. And then y'all like, you know what? Let's replace this old white man with another
Another
old white
white
man.
man.
Cause we need some of this NFL juju. And the NFL game is not like the college game. One thing a head coach has to do that an NFL coach don't have to do is recruit. You're gonna have to shake hands, kiss babies, meet mamas. Some coaches even bust down the players' mamas. I ain't gonna say no names, but some of them do. Um, I'm just saying. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
you gonna have to do all that. And Bill Belichick don't seem like the kind of guy who can be able to do all that. You're gonna have to sell these kids on why they should come to North Carolina. Why parents going to say, how can I trust my son with you, Bill Belichick? Do you think a lot of parents, a lot of moms, or a lot of fathers is cool with Bill Belichick dating a 25-year-old girl? Some folks ain't cool with that. Some are. But that's what happens when you're the coach of an organization like North Carolina. So now college is trending towards more of a younger coach. All the old guards getting out the way. Like a
Yeah, they
Steve
are.
Sarkisian, Marcus Freeman, coaches like that. So, you know, North Carolina is just a product of, recycling, the old guard. But hey, at least y'all got some cool custom made Jordans though.
Yeah, and we're gonna be looking good and been losing terribly. Um, Stephen Boone said MJ was looking like y'all got me out here for this. Yeah, he was.
Hey,
Him
hey,
and LT.
hey, hey. I just seen MJ at another game. He was so Oh yeah, MJ was so disappointed at the North Carolina game. He went all the way to see the Eagles play. He need to get that bad luck out of his mind. You know what I mean?
He need to see some winners. Um, Brent Foster Shakira the done caught a stray. Puerto Rican pride. Yeah. Um, all right, man. Yeah. Moving on. Those who don't know, the University of Southern Florida Bulls knocked off for a second time a ranked team. They knocked off Florida Gators. Um, they got this quarterback that's been balling. His name is Byron Brown. Um, he's been balling, man. He's been balling. Um, and keeping them in these games and winning them. What's y'all thoughts? Do you think the Southern Florida Bulls is going to keep climbing up the rankings if they play like this? Or just Florida is overrated and the two teams they just played no longer like Florida and I'm blanking on the other squad. The first what was first squad that they played? Boise.
I don't remember who I don't
It was
remember who they
Boise.
played, but I know this much. I think two things could be true at the same time. I think
Mm.
if South Florida keep doing what they're doing, yeah, they definitely gonna climb the ranks. But I think UFF is overrated. I mean, it's not like the days when you had Steve Spurrier. Uh, my other friend that ended up being the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's like now you not only have Florida State, you not only have University of Miami. Like when Steve Spurrier was having all the success he had, FAU and FIU was not even in existence. So those are other programs in the state of Florida that's taking some of these recruits that y'all had that y'all would have got. But just think about it. I'm gonna use Bobby Bowden for example. At one point, he had Warwick Dunn as a starting running back, and people don't realize his backup was Rock Preston. Rock Preston was an all-world running back too. I mean, you able to do that in the early '90s, but guess what?
2000s, yeah.
With the NIL and the transfer portal in 2025, that's part of the reason why I see Nick Saban on College Game Day as opposed to seeing him on the sideline on Saturday nights. Because guess what? You're not gonna have a 5-star running back with 2 5-star running backs behind him. You can't stop power talent like you did back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So that's why some of these programs that's perennial powerhouses, they don't have the same kind of success that they had back in the gap. So at the end of the
Yeah,
day,
the young boys just want to play, man. They don't want to be
yeah, I mean,
behind
so I mean,
another 5-star, 4-star for 2 years. They want to play now. Go ahead.
and I mean, like I said, I mean, this was the thing. We look at it with recent memory with Nick Saban in Alabama, but this went on for years, like in the '80s and '90s, where especially if you was a program like Notre Dame or the U or Florida State, you would have a 5-star quarterback, and you would have a 5-star quarterback behind him. You'd have a 5-star running back, and you have like 2 or 3 5-star running backs behind him. Like that day's gone. Like you can't, you can't operate that way. Now, me and Big J Good talk about this behind the scenes. Salute to J Good. We was talking about how we don't like this era of football. Especially watching Southern play last night. It's like everybody runs spread. Everybody does not have spread personnel. Some of these teams instead of, you could run a spread look in terms of having like 3-4 receivers, but you could do it from under center. You know what I'm saying? So some of these teams that's running spread and running inside zone and running whatever they're running, like you don't need to do all that. Some of these teams, I'm gonna just keep it a buck based on the personnel you have. Some of these quarterbacks need to be in the center, turn around, handing the ball, run maybe option off it, bootleg off it, whatever the case may be. So at the end of the day, we just don't. Maybe because I grew up, I played high school football in the late '90s. We were so used to line up in the I, running ISO lead, running ISO lead up the middle, running whams to the outside, bootlegging off it, whatever. Like, watching everybody run spread, everybody either running a 3-3 stack or 3-5-3 or 4-2-5 defense. It's like, damn, bro. Even in high school, really, it's even going on to the middle school and Pop Warner level. Because even like some of the teams I coached against when I was the head coach at my middle school team in EBR, like some of those coaches left and went to other places, and you got new coaches coming in, and they're doing 7-on-7 during the summer. Then the season starts. Instead of them line up in the eye trying to punch teams in the mouth, they trying to go spread. I'm like, bro, everybody cannot run spread all the way down to Pop Warner Little League football. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, bro, some teams are not built for running the spread. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you. If these young kids can get involved, like that's why me and JB we brag about a lot of these North Carolina running backs, because in high school football in North Carolina, there's still teams that run the out the I formation, wing T, have a fullback,
Flex
option runs,
bone.
flex bones. There's a high school. There's a powerhouse high school. They 2A, 3A. The perennial state champions. they call Tarboro. They run what they call the Tarboro T. And last year they had 3 running backs that went over 1,000 yards out of the Tarboro T. So when those running backs go to college and they're able to experience other formations, everything they have the variety of football knowledge. So if everybody just run like the same old plays, like
Inside
spreading
zone.
everything inside zone, it's a lot of these kids is going to be lacking as far as the knowledge. All
And
right.
that's
Shout
the
out
thing
to
about
Tyler
it.
Gurley.
Yeah, shout out to Tiger. He was a Tarboro. He went to Tarboro.
And that's the thing about it, bro. You got a lot of schools in Louisiana and Mississippi that still like run like T formation, double tight, stacked eye, power eye, uh, wing bone, flex bone, wishbone, uh, you know. So I mean, you got teams that run it. I mean, don't get me wrong. On a college level, it's not like I'll run triple option on a college level. But at the same token, you can still run a pro style offense where you line up under center a portion of the time. It don't have to be spread 100% of the time. That's all I'm saying. Not even. I'm not even gonna say spread because you could run a spread look and you could come out in double slot, still line up under center, or you can line up in a pro slot with a single eye and you line up under center. My thing is, you just don't need to be in the shotgun 100% of the time.
Like what Georgia Tech did to Colorado. They one play they came out in the spread, and then when they ran the play, it was a damn option.
Well, I mean, even yesterday with Alabama State, Carl Ligon used to be the running back for Southern. He plays for Alabama State now. So they lined Andrew Body got up under center, and they lined up in a single eye. They lined up in a double type bunch. They lined up in a bunch formation, and they tossed him like a 28 toss to the right. You know what I'm saying? And they got 7-8 yards out of it. And the crazy thing about it, one of the things I sent this to you and Jay Good behind the scenes, like pregame, McCoy lined up in the shotgun, they double slot, they empty this, that, and the third. Then after the last 10 or 15 plays in pregame, they lined up double tight, single eye, and they running the ball. And I'm like, all right, let's see if they're gonna do that during the game. They never did it during the game. I'm like, no, y'all need to be doing that in the game, for real. Cause this boy keep fumbling this inside zone. Like, y'all need to line up on the center and let that boy hand the ball off. You know what I'm saying?
And this is going to go, and I have something to say about this. This is going into one of our topics when we talk about prime. I got something to say, and it's going to bleed into some of the coaching at North Carolina, where these coaches recruit certain players and expect them to run their system, but the player's archetype doesn't fit their scheme. So you got a spread formation or a spread screen, but you're recruiting a quarterback that's more of an option quarterback. He's not going to throw it around the field.
Yeah, man. We kind of straight off the topic, but it was a good conversation. Big Joe, what you think of the USC, the Southern Florida Bulls, man, knocking off 2 ranked teams? You think they can be consistent, or
Yeah, I believe.
Florida and Boise State just not that good? My bad. Go ahead.
Well, Boise State definitely ain't that good. I mean, they ain't got Genty no more. Genty ain't there, and you can see he's definitely missed. And again, Boise State playing the same conference as San Jose State and some of the other schools in the WAC conference, which is why they always good every year. So they always overhyped. They get to the playoffs and always get blown out. So that's Boise State. And as far as Florida goes, um, you know, South Florida, they got some Florida boys on their team too. It may say South Florida and not Florida, but they still Florida boys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they all chase chickens with no shoes on, and they all listen to Trick Daddy. You know what I mean? They all listen to Plies. You know what I mean? So they still them same dogs who play ball, and so. But also, like everybody was saying, a lot of talent is leaving Florida too. So a lot of other schools are getting good talent. You're seeing Alabama players going to Colorado. You're seeing UCLA players going to San Jose State. You're seeing LSU players go to Indiana. So a lot of players are moving around. You know what I mean? So like Coach was saying, teams can't stockpile players no more. This ain't like the 2000 Miami team where everybody got dark visors and they got first round picks in every position. It ain't like that no more. So everybody's gonna have to find players that fit their system. Now we live in a college football day and time where everybody is lining up like it's 7-on-7. And 7-on-7 is not realistic in real football. You normally do that in practice when you want to see some stuff, but now you got these 7-on-7 leagues, and the wide receiver is running 9 to 10 routes in one play to try to get open, and that's not realistic in the game. So every team needs to find out what they want to do, what offense they want to run, what defense they want to run, and find players to fit their system. That's why it's called recruiting. You got to recruit people to fit your organization and to fit your team. But everybody's running the same thing. Everybody's running the quick toss to the left, quick toss to the right. Everybody's doing the same stuff, and everybody's having the same results, and it's not happening. So but no, South Florida is a great team. They're a solid, phenomenal team. They have an opportunity, to win the conference. But the allure of a Florida, the allure of an LSU, the allure of a Texas, the allure of an Alabama is gone now because all these teams are vulnerable because everybody's getting good players no matter where you at. So
Mm.
when you can have, would you rather sit behind 2 or 3 years in Alabama, or would you rather get paid $700,000 and play in Indiana? You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, football is still football. At the end of the day, you want to get reps and good snaps in because you see the Alabama quarterback. He sat behind all those years, and we see what happened the first game. You see what he did.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, football is all about game reps, not practice reps. So but no, South Florida is a real legit team. Florida is not overrated. They are just now competing with a Florida team who has Florida players too. The state of Florida, you got South Florida, you got FIU, you got
Central.
Miami, you got Central Florida, you got FAMU, so there's a
FAU.
lot of FAU, there's a lot of Florida teams to accumulate talent, to pick talent. And then not to mention that some of the best talent is actually leaving to go to other places. So a lot of that is factoring into why Florida is not the powerhouse that it used to be. At the end of the day, South Florida is legit because they beat a legit program and they beat them on their home field.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, and one thing I want to point out that Big Joe pointed out, we talked about it here on this panel. Jay Good and I talked about it behind the scenes. Jared and I talked about it. Like I see a lot of teams that win like 7-on-7 championships, but they can't translate that over into like regular 11-on-11 football because you have a component where you actually have offensive linemen. And a lot of championship teams, they got to be dominant up front on both sides of the ball to have success. You can have all the best skill players in the world, but if your offensive line is trash and your defensive line is trash, Southern is a perfect example. Guess what? Hey, they getting dominated up front on both sides of the ball, and that's why they can't be as dominant as Southern teams of old because they just can't move teams against their will in terms of their offensive line and their defensive line is not wreaking havoc like Southern defensive lines of old. So at the end of the day, you can win all the 7-on-7 championships you want. Now, it has opened up a lane where, like back in the gap, I don't know if y'all know this, like we're just gonna use Florida State for example. Like, somebody like Charlie Ward, he won a Heisman Trophy, but he didn't actually get to start till his junior year. Like back in the gap, like in the 80s and 90s, you didn't see true freshmen like starting in college football. Like you had to sit and wait at least 3 years before you started at certain programs. Whereas you got guys starting as true freshmen now because they play literally football year round and they play 7-on-7 when they're not playing on 11-on-11. But at the same token, I've seen a lot of teams win 7-on-7 championships and it does not always translate over because that line component is a very vital component to being a successful team. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's true, man. Before I go to JB, Christopher Dukes, I haven't heard this, but that'll be great. Christopher Dukes said Ed Reed is interested in the Southern job.
Well, you, I, and Big Joe talked about this. You and Big Joe had an opposing point of view than myself. I'm not saying he wouldn't be successful, but whether you and Big Joe believe me, the way he handled the cooking situation, the optics of it looks very bad, brother. Like you can't be of an organization and talking out the side of your neck, whether you trying to get stuff behind the scenes and you're not getting stuff done. Like I'm telling you, a lot of HBCUs, a lot of these programs in general, they're not gonna make every a head coach the way he handled the Bethune-Cookman situation. So I'm not saying he wouldn't turn Southern around. I'm saying the way he handled that Bethune-Cookman situation, it left a stench on him that a lot of teams ain't gonna touch. I mean, just think about it. He was rumored to be one of the front runners for the Grambling job. He would start to be in the mix with Fred McNair and with the wide receiver Andre Johnson. The three of them will start to be in the mix for the Texas Southern job, and they ended up hiring Chris Dishman. So at the end of the day, it's like, bro, I'm telling you, the way he handled that situation, it rubbed a lot of HBCU athletic directors the wrong way. You did.
I hear you, coach, but y'all need help, man. If I was the athletic director, like, hey man, like you said, I'll clean house. Ed Reed, come on in, brother. Hell.
Man, hey,
we ain't doing.
I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real. We just kind of. It's not the same as the Bill Belichick situation, but if I'm an AD, I'll be looking to hire like a Chennis Berry, Trey Oliver before Ed Reed. That's just my personal opinion. I want somebody
Y'all not getting Chennis Berry, Trey Oliver.
Say that again.
Y'all not getting Chennis Berry, Trey Oliver.
I didn't say we were, but I'm saying if I could pick whoever I wanted.
No. I understand. Like,
and not only that, but we don't know. We don't know if Ed Reed is gonna have success. I mean, just think about it. After Deion went to Jackson State, they thought they was gonna eventually hire before the whole NFL Network scandal. It done blew over now, but they thought they was gonna hire Marshall Faulk. Right now, Marshall Faulk is the running backs coach at Colorado. For all you know, they might have some more interest in Marshall Faulk because the candidates at the time was Marshall Faulk, Kevin Sumlin, and what the other boy name is, it was somebody else, and of course they ended up going with Eric Doolin. We saw how that played out. So at the end of the day, the celebrity coach is not for everybody. In fact, some people like they need to go get Dawson Odom back, and I'm like, nah, I don't know if Jaguar Nation was never really sold on him, even though he did win the SWAC championship in 2013. So I think at the end of the day, right now, I think you just get rid of Graves and you just promote Fred McNair, just let him be the interim coach and just see where things go from that. If he don't do a good job, which I don't think he would, because all of these guys are Eric Dooley guys and they still have the stench of Eric Dooley on them as far as I'm concerned. Hey, after the season, you just clean house and you just have your legit coaching service.
Even if Fred McNair and the coaches under Terrence Graves are pretty much remnants of Eric Dooley.
Well, not McNair, but outside of McNair, like one or two of the other coaches, this pretty much Eric Dooley entire coaching staff, to be real with you,
Right. Then, just me personally, I see how the team is constructed and how the coaching is. Just I'll just try it out for 1 year. Hey, Ed Reed, come on, let's see what you got, man. Big Joe, what you got? What you think on this?
Hey man, hey. Oh man. Sound like coach don't want him over there. That's cool. So I understand his sentiment.
No, I know,
You know,
I didn't say I don't want him. I said a lot of HBCU ADs not gonna want to deal with
okay,
him based on the way things doing.
that's cool. And a lot of HBCUs keep losing too because the ADs and nobody else don't want to change their whole organization or change their program. That's the reason why Ed Reed lasted out in the first place because there was trash all over the goddamn place. So whether they like it or not, if you want to win, you got to change your organization. And what Ed Reed did was over 2+ years ago. So if they want to keep bringing that up, that's cool. Well, then they're going to keep on losing just like Bethune-Cookman. Not only did they lose yesterday, they lost the first week of the game too that we never talked about. So Bethune-Cookman, obviously, some folks may feel like they didn't need Ed Reed, but goddamn it, they need somebody because they lose and steal without Ed Reed. So I'm not saying that Southern needs Ed Reed, but Ed Reed he knows football, and he seems like he wants to coach at the HBCU. That's what it seems like to me, because his name keeps getting brought up. Now, if Ed Reed said, forget this, I'm going somewhere else, then some folks would say, oh, well, he never want to coach at the HBCU anyways, and now he's coaching at Indiana. So either way, I mean, he wants to coach at the HBCU. He knows how to play football. He's a Hall of Fame player. He's won a Super Bowl championship. Why the hell wouldn't you want him at your program? To see if it's going to work or not. Deshaun Jackson is coaching. Michael Vick is coaching. What's wrong with giving Ed Reed the opportunity? What he did was several years ago. Some ADs want to keep on losing. They can keep on losing. That's cool. Ed Reed ain't got the coach. Ain't like he broke. It seems like he wants to go and help out the kids and make a difference. So, I mean, at some point, either you make changes or you keep staying the same.
Well, you bring up a valid point from the standpoint of, you got to realize, Big Joe, I don't know if we brought this up on this show, HBCU Fanatics. A lot of HBCU football is like good old boy network. All right, let me give you an example. We're just going to use Southern, for example. They always want guys that coached or was assistant, either played for Pete Richardson or assistants under Pete Richardson. That's why you keep getting guys like Dooley, and you keep getting guys like a lot of these HB, like Eric Dooley, Fred McNair, all of these guys. Some of these guys like Mark Frederick with his trash self as the OC. Like a lot of these guys, even Mickey Joseph at Grambling, a lot of these guys have coached at multiple HBCUs in the SWAC. So a lot of these guys are SWAC lifers. So you saying like they got to change their organizational structure? I agree with you. But clearly, a lot of these HBCUs stuck in their ways, they stuck in their mindset, and they stuck in their mentality. You could say, hey, if you want to win, you got to break the mold and you got to change things around. But I'm not going to lie, some of them just going to keep doing what they're doing.
Okay.
So, theoretically, you're right. But a lot of them not even going to give what you're saying care about your input in that regard. And they might just keep having the same results, but they will be cool with that, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, I hear you, but we can't keep using because what Ed Reed said 2 years ago is the reason why he's not getting a head coaching job. Hell, Eddie George didn't even want to coach. A damn alumni asked him if he wanted to coach, and then he ended up being the head coach at the HBCU for 6-7 years. Now he's at Bowling Green. I mean, at some point you gotta make a change, but you can't use what Ed Reed did. I know a lot of coaches in D1 ball have done some weird, shady stuff, and they keep getting hired. I know coaches who didn't crash the motorcycle with their side chick on the back of their car and still get coaching jobs. You dig what I'm saying? So I mean,
in that scenario, you got to realize there's a double standard when it comes to the coach that was the coach of your alma mater and the coach at Atlanta Falcons that did that. There's a clear and distinct double standard in that regard, for one. And then second of all, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not saying. I mean, I done like made a couple guest appearances on a couple other like HBCU content creators, and I'm just like these are like behind the scenes conversation we have. Like we know for a fact that a lot of these, it didn't just have to happen just at Bethune, but I'm telling you, a lot of these guys, they still holding that against him. Like, whether we believe it or not, I'm just keeping it a buck, you know what I'm saying? Now, the truth of the matter is, I mean, it's a possibility they could take a poke at maybe like an Andre Johnson or a Marshall Falk, but I'm telling you, they would rather go in that direction than go the Ed Reed route. That's just my personal opinion. And these are, like, what I'm saying is basically, these are like conversations I done had with other HBCU content creators behind the scenes, and that's the reason why I'm telling you that. That's the reason why he hadn't got a job yet. I mean, like
so
I
you're
say,
saying Ed Reed is being blackballed? Ed Reed being blackballed? That's what you're saying?
I mean, to a certain degree, yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, all right.
And that's why a
Well
lot of them
then
programs
they
gonna
gonna keep
suffer
on.
too.
Well then they gonna keep on and keep on losing. 2-5,
Nah,
2-10s. We getting
nah,
paid $1 million. They get blown out by 70 points. Same old, same old.
nah, don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not saying he'll never get an HBCU head coaching job. But we just gonna say if they got 100 HBCU athletic directors, 95 of them wouldn't even sniff him. I'm gonna just keep it a buck.
I know, and that's why there's never gonna be no change. Cause we all want change, right? We all say we all want change. Deion Sanders, whether we liked it or not, he brought a big surge to the HBCUs. Everybody had eyes on it.
Yeah.
Everybody was paying attention. Everybody was doing everything. So that's why a lot of schools was grabbing. We're gonna grab an Eddie George. We're gonna grab a Grambling, grab the coach from the
Hugh
Bengals.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Hugh
So
Jackson.
everybody's trying to make a change. And then when Dion left, all that change fills it out. And that wasn't his fault that it fills it out. Everybody just didn't stay around. So at some point, yeah, if you want to change, you have to make a change, regardless if they feel some kind of way or not. It is what it is. So, well, if it's Ed Reed, well, if it's Dana Stubblefield, well, if it's whoever,
Andre
these
Johnson.
guys know ball. I understand some of these coaches may be HBCU lifers, but you can't tell me they don't know more knowledge than the guy who played in the NFL, who's a Hall of Famer and won a Super Bowl championship. And regardless, one of the best safeties that ever lived. Nobody can tell me that. That makes no sense. Because of what he said to a program I'm just saying. To me, it makes no sense because of what he said 2 years ago. So I mean, he know ball. It's not like we're getting Will Levis the coach. That man know what he's talking about.
Wait, hold
You
on.
want to
You do realize Will Levis is an NFL quarterback, right?
But I'm saying compare his pedigree to Ed Reed's pedigree. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, man, I feel what you're saying.
Okay, how about Ryan Leaf then? Let's Ryan Leaf then. He's older. He's around Ryan Leaf. More. Ryan Leaf coaching high school right now.
Yeah. But this is
cool.
an old conversation you and I had. Like at the time, I was Fred McNair. I'm like, I feel like Texas Southern should hire should hire Fred McNair. You was like, no, I think they should hire Andre Johnson. So they split the middle, and they hired Chris Dishman. Even though I think Andre Johnson had more cachet in Houston than Chris Dishman, because Chris Dishman played for the Oilers and he was a Pro Bowler way back in the 80s, you know what I'm saying? 80s, 90s, whatever, you know what I'm saying? To me, he seemed like a compromise. He would be the best of both worlds. Texas Southern program has improved, but it didn't have like the superstardom that Jackson State had when Deion took over. So to me, either you're on one end of the spectrum or the other end. It's really like no split in the middle, you know what I'm saying?
Would you want to have Ed Reed as a coach of your Southern Jaguars? Yes or no?
Right now, yeah, I think.
Okay, cool. All right, that's all I'm saying. Go ahead, Jared.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying too. Like, damn it, if you need help now, just get the best choice you can. If it don't work out, you try it, and then you go from there. But
all right, hold on. Before we wrap up this topic, if you had a choice between Ed Reed and Marshall Falk, who would you take, Big Joe? You heard, Big Joe?
Now, what was your question again?
I say if you had to choose between Marshall Falk and Ed Reed, who would you take?
You damn near can flip a coin.
Yeah, all right.
Really?
Yeah,
I mean, you
I
damn near
wouldn't
can
be
flip a
mad at
coin. I
both.
mean, they're both Hall of Fame players, and they're both Super Bowl winning players. I mean, you can flip a coin. Marshall Falk is an offensive mastermind. He was a running back, you know. And Ed Reed was the quarterback of the defense. I mean, you can flip a coin. Really, it all depends on personality. Then after that, who do you think will
Well,
be able to lead? Who would think will be able to lead the and galvanize the team better, Marshall Falk or Ed Reed?
On the
I mean,
cool,
honestly,
man.
in that scenario, I don't know, but based on the alleged flirtation between Southern and Falk, I think they probably would go the Falk route over Ed Reed, based on the fact that they were
Cool.
so close to hiring him. But the
Hmm.
NFL Network scandal kind of blew that alleged. I mean, nobody has been able to verify it nor deny it. But from what I
Right.
understood, he was supposed to be the next head coach before they hired Eric Dooley. You know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and look what they got. Then they let all them white boys and the head coach and had scandal after scandal.
Well,
HBCUs need
you
to
know,
stop letting
we talk about
bullshit
the double
scare them
standard all
off.
the
Yeah,
hey, we talk
we
about
do.
the Diddy versus Vince McMahon double standard all the time. So we know what that is, you know. I mean, you know, it
Yeah,
is what it is.
yeah, we didn't know what it is, but as far as HBCUs need to the administrators and the athletic directors need to know what it is and have a set, act like they have a set and make the right decision. That's gonna be for the program instead
Well,
of
you
seeing
got
it
to realize,
instead of seeing it suffer and have it be dragged along with recycled swag or MEAC coaches.
yeah, I understand what you're saying, but you got to realize they operate the same way a lot of these PWIs operate in terms of their mindset and their ideologies. Just think about it. Hugh Jackson wanted to make Art Browse the offensive coordinator. Initially, Grambling, Boosters, and AD greenlit it, but then when they realized, oh shoot, look at all the negative backlash he got from being the head coach at Baylor. Nah, we just gonna can it. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't want have that stigma attached to him based on all the scandal that happened under his watch at Baylor. Jay Good said, "I'm gonna keep it a buck. You know what happened at Baylor had happened at Baylor. You know, if I was in charge of Grambling, I'd have let him hire Art Browse as the OC. You know, he felt like Grambling would have took over the SWAC. And if anything, he felt like, you know, as members of Jaguar Nation, he felt like we dodged a bullet. So at the end of the day, you know, I think HBCUs, they kind of operate a lot like PWIs when it comes to like publicity and negative publicity and that type of thing. You know?
Yeah, well, they need to cut that shit out, man.
Oh, I
Um,
agree.
but moving, I'm sorry, JB, we missed your, we got in a good conversation, going dipping in the HBCU, talk with Ed Reed and Bethune Cookman. Um, what's your thoughts on UCF knocking off two ranked teams, and do you think they for real?
They're one of the under the radar teams that you don't want to face right now. As far as whatever, like and Town was correct about Boise, but Boise still offensively can give any team a problem. They just can't stop nobody on defense. So they beat them, and then they beat our Florida team, who, Florida still got some weapons. They still got a receiver or a running back, and their defense is okay. And they beat them. I think Billy Napier's is on the hot seat over there. So,
That was Stephen
um,
Boone just said in the chat. Yeah.
yeah. So, and he was last year, really. And he ended up winning a couple of games later in the season. So, I mean, again, this is the first two games of the season. So don't, Florida may go on a tear later on in the season, especially in the SEC. But I think South Florida is a team that everybody should pay attention to. They got a quarterback that is the real deal. Um, his name is escaping me. What's that brother name, man? For South Florida, he's a problem.
Brom Brown,
Yes,
the quarterback, Brom
he
Brown. Yeah.
runs angry. He runs angry. He break tackles if he take off and run with it. Um, and he's okay with throwing the ball in the air. So South Florida is just one of them teams, man, that just know you're gonna have a couple of problems, especially if your defense is not the best. Um, I'm looking forward to see what they do later in the season. If they for real, or it's just one of them, you see a couple of teams like Syracuse. When Syracuse had what's your boy? The first black coach they had before they had Brown. Uh, what's your boy name, Jared?
I'm blinking his name on his name. Hold on.
Well,
I
when
understand
he
what you're saying.
was head coach, they would Syracuse would be 6-0, and then they lose the rest of their games of the season, so they be 6-6 and 6-7. So we're gonna see if this is for real
Dino
or
Baby.
is it just Dino Babers? Thank you. So Dino Babers, used to be famous for when it be 6-0, and then they'll lose to North Carolina or lose to NC State or somebody, and then they'll go on a losing streak. So hopefully that's not the case for South Florida. It looks like they the real deal.
Yeah, Byron Brown is a beast, man. Okay. All right. Moving on to the Colorado topic, man. What y'all think about Colorado playing three quarterbacks? So they started off with Salter. Salter was able to move them down the field, and he was able to run it in for a touchdown. After that, the offense was stagnant. Um, and then after a couple of possessions, and after they kept punting the ball, they finally put the uh, highly talented freshman in, um, and
Julian Lewis.
Julian Lewis, and he did not. Um, he just needs to sit with the clipboard for a little bit. I'm not saying he did terrible, but you can tell like he couldn't feel for the blitz. He
The
just
the game is too fast for him right now.
yeah. So when they put in, they find okay, and they had him for like two possessions, and they finally put in their day one, meaning Ryan Stab was one of Dion's recruits from day one. They put him in, and he balled out. He balled out. The offense looked fluid, um, and to me, that's their starting quarterback. That's their starting quarterback, in my opinion. Caden Salter, I thought was going to be their dual threat, but I don't know. He still looked kind of. There were times where it was more of what we saw in the first game against Georgia Tech, where there was people wide open and he didn't see him, and then he'd try to take off and run, and the defenders would run him down. So yeah, it wasn't a good showing for Salter as a whole. But going with you, Big Joe, what you think of Colorado's three quarterback situation?
Oh man, I love it. Honestly, I love it. I told you brothers, in the group chat, you're not replacing Shador. You're not replacing Travis. I know Coach Prime said, this is a better team this year. obviously some things you have to say when you're a coach. You know, what I mean, to give your team morale, you know, and to have them, you know, believe going into the season. But you're not replacing Shador. So you bring in Salter. Salter is like an option quarterback. He's kind of like a Tommy Frazier. You know, you get him out, pitch the ball, run it, you know, throw the ball or whatnot. That's kind of who he is. And then you bring in the freshman. He's still a freshman. You know, obviously we got Bryce Underwood at Michigan. You know, he's the elite of the elite. You know, but even he suffered in yesterday's game because he's still a freshman. So the game is moving too fast for Lewis. And then you bring in Staub, who's a sophomore. You know, he's been around Coach Prime a little bit. He's been, you know, around the facility. He knows the offense to a degree. I believe this is the coordinator's second year. You know, so he kind of understands the game plan and understands the play calling. And he understands what's expected of him. You know, so this is the epitome of competition. Coach probably looking for a quarterback. They gave it to Lewis because he's a senior. He transferred. This is his last year, so they're saying, okay, you're the senior. You're going to start. This is your gig, and he hasn't shown why he should be the starter. So then you bring in Lewis. He's the touted 5-star freshman. He's the kid. He's this now and the third. He go in there and he's still shell shocked. So then you bring in, you know, the unreliable. You mean the quarterback you're not really relying on too much. He's a third stringer, and again, he's third string for a reason. He couldn't beat out Lewis to be second string, so he's third string. But he goes in there, shows poise, and he shows why, he's there on the team, and he shows that I understand the offense. The moment is not too bright. It's hard to come off a bench cold and go in there and start throwing bombs. That's not easy, And he's showing his watch, saying, "Hey, it's my
Not easy
time."
at all.
Hey, he said, "Hey," he's doing a Shador saying, "Hey, it's my time. I'm ready to play. Forget all that. I'm trying to play." That's
He
competition
held
right
the
there.
watch up and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he said it's my time. And you saw the players rallied around, Ryan Staub. Not saying that no, they didn't rally around Salter or Lewis, but they rallied around him for whatever reason. If you have a quarterback who can galvanize your team, that's your starting quarterback. You know what I mean? I remember I watched a film in one of my practices. I balled out one practice. I was hustling all over the place. My coach showed my tape, saw me hustling, and said, "Townsend, I ain't gonna say nothing else. You can do whatever you want. You can play long as you want to." That's the kind of hustle we need on this team. And that's how they looking at Staub with how he played yesterday. Boy, you can do whatever you want. That's why you here. He even said at the end of the game, Staub said, "I have a dream." You know what I mean? So they call him Martin Luther Staub, I guess. But he was the only one ready to play. At the end of the day, who's ready to play? When you put this uniform on, who's ready to go? No matter if you 5 stars, transfer senior, who's ready to play? And Staub was ready to play. So I love to see it. Now we gonna see what they're gonna do this coming week. They're in contention now. They're in the Big 12 conference play. Staub should be starting quarterback. But I think they're gonna give Salter one more chance, but he's on a real short leash. I think if he don't look good in the first half, he might get yanked. So, but shout out to Staub. College ball is about seizing your moment, seizing your opportunities, and be ready to play. This is what Shador's going to have to do at the Browns. When your number is called, you're going to have to ball out. But shout out to Staub and good win for Colorado.
Okay. Coach 67 Sports TV, what was your thoughts on Colorado playing 3 quarterbacks?
Well, of course, I didn't see it, but on my way
You was at the
home,
game, yeah.
I was at the game. However, I did hear Doc Holliday talking about it on HBCU Overdrive. Shout out to him. And he
Shout
was
out to
talking
Doc.
about the 3 quarterback situation. And truthfully speaking, like my coach has always told us, like, hey, if you have to play more than one quarterback, that means you don't have that guy. I think the dynamics are different, on the pro level in the NFL. Like when you have a guy that you might have drafted in the first round, you might have more invested in this guy, but you might have a Tom Brady type guy that was drafted in the 6th or 7th round and might have better talent. I mean, that might be a scenario or a situation that I've seen
Mm-hmm.
play out over the years in the NFL. However, on the college level, if you have to play like more than one quarterback, and it barring injury or barring the 2 quarterbacks being like extremely different from the standpoint of Maybe you Southern, you got a guy like Jalen Woods, and then you might have a guy like Cameron McCall who might have a package. But at the end of the day, I don't even like that. I feel I should have a clear cut number one guy that's like a dog, like I don't know, like a Quincy Reshard type, and then have like a good backup quarterback that could come in and take care of business when his number is called. So at the end of the day, I prefer to have a clear cut number one guy and a good backup. I don't want to have to play three quarterbacks. That's just my personal opinion,
I hear you. I hear you. I missed a couple of shout outs, man, because we were cooking on the HBCU thing. Yeah. Salute to my brother, the Roll Pie, Hendo. He said, gentlemen, appreciate you supporting. Jada Six being in here. I've been responding to him, but just want to give him a shout out. Jada Six said, yo, what's going on? And of course, Big Reg. Autism Boy was good, man. But yeah, man. I agree. I definitely agree. If you have three quarterbacks, you have no quarterback. But like Big Joe said, Ryan Staub does look like that guy. So they may have found him, but we're gonna see when they go into conference play. JB, what are your thoughts on Colorado playing three quarterbacks?
Okay, so I've been waiting on this topic because I'm gonna relate this topic with the UNC situation.
Let's go, JB. Let's go, baby.
Now, I agree. I love style. I love his story. I love stories like that. But I hate this for Salter. I'm gonna tell you why. We was talking on the show last week, and we all knew that Salters is a dual threat quarterback or an option quarterback. He more likely gonna do more running. The throwing he gonna do is play action, boot, get him on the move. And he may not be there yet with like certain throws. You can see it in certain throws. When he try to throw certain passes, he's not confident yet. He may see the windows, but he's not confident yet. He's safe with the ball, like he was at Liberty. He don't turn the ball over. You know what I'm saying? But he's not a type of quarterback where you gonna run spread. Hear me out. This is what me, you, Town, and Coach were just talking about. When it comes to coaches bringing in these quarterbacks and trying to make them run a system that may not be part of their talent. Staub that we see now, Staub is more of the type of quarterback you should use because he has looks like he has a stronger arm. And he knows the system of the spread system. He sat behind Shador. He should know the system. You know what I'm saying? So when he got a chance, I can throw that bitch. We got wide receivers that like to run deep and run deep routes. I can get them the ball. That's not Salter's game. Salter's game, you run the ball, you got a good running back, you run the ball, you throw it mid-range, like a RPO, you throw mid routes for him to throw it to. And then if you want to, every now and then you take a deep shot. When the DBs is around your line of scrimmage. That's his game. With Stout, you can see he's and I agree with you guys. Right now he's the quarterback right now. As far as the system, I don't think he's the better quarterback overall, but I think he's the better quarterback for this system and for the offense they're trying to run. Now, how this relates to North Carolina is because we're trying to run. We got receivers that run down the field. We got a lot of fast receivers, just like Colorado, that run down the field. They'll beat anybody in coverage they'll beat anybody in coverage. But you got Gio Lopez. Gio Lopez coming from South Alabama. He's an option quarterback. Meaning you give him a good running back, like Jared said, RPO, option QB, trying to make them linebackers bite, the safeties bite, then they'll throw it over the top. That's his game. He's not comfortable yet. I see he's not comfortable yet throwing the ball down over mid-range. Yeah. Because he's trying to be safe with the ball. He don't like turning the ball over. He's just like Salters. When quarterbacks try not to turn the ball over, they'll hold on to the ball longer. But when you got stopped, they gonna let that bitch loose. You know what I'm saying? So I just think right now I think it's a good idea for them doing that for Prime. Well, Prime doing that. I think that was a good idea. I mean, there was no better opponent better than as far as them doing that for Delaware. Because if they try to do that against Houston, that shit may turn bad. Houston got some ballers on their team. They should beat them, but they got some ballers on their team. But I just think that as far as to answer your question, Jared, as far as the story, third string quarterback getting his chance, I love it, but I hate it for Salters because coming in the season, they said they was going to run the ball. They haven't been running the ball that much, and that makes me pull my hair out. And they're trying to make him out to be a quarterback that he's not. So that's my opinion on it.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Especially if you don't run the ball, man. Run the ball like you said you was, and it'll take much pressure off the quarterback.
They ain't got no excuse this year, man. They got the linemen. I don't want to hear shit about the linemen being sorry. If you're so predictable on offense, there's a little that the lineman can do. If everybody know you about to pass, and the defensive line and the linebackers blitzing, and you still trying to hold on to the ball and pass, that's coaching.
Yeah.
Bubble screens and shit that's not working.
Well, I'll say this, JB. I don't think Staub has a stronger arm. I think he's just more accurate. Now I seen Salters roll out, and off of one leg, he threw a 70-yard bomb, but it went into the end zone. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, being a quarterback is not having the strongest arm, is being able to read the defense, execute the play, and get it to your players on time, and that's what he's able to do right now. So whether it's Salters is not in sync with the wide receivers, or maybe he's thinking too much, or maybe this might be too much for him. Now, when Shador went from Jackson State to Colorado, everybody said, well, he did good at Jackson State. Can he play good in Colorado? Will this game transfer? Salters was at Liberty. Can Salters game transfer from Liberty to Colorado? It is a step up. Even if it's Colorado, it's still a step up. And then also, a lot of players look good in practice. A lot of players look on point. A lot of players look like they that dude in practice. And then you get in, then it's time to put the uniform on, and it's just not there. You know what I mean? Not saying that Salters.
When you play against teams with different uniforms, it's time to see if you that dude.
Yeah. I mean,
not just that. Defense got time to scheme up and plan against your ass.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, it could be an array of things of why it's not working out with Salters. But either way, what I'm hearing, Dion was like, oh, man, Salters is that dude. He killed it in practice. That's why in the game, he's like, man, what are you doing? What is you? That's why he's so frustrated, because in practice, they throwing everything at him, and he dogging them out. You get in the game, and you struggling against Delaware. Like, dog, what is you doing?
and you're right. That's a good point. And people, and all three of these gentlemen we played football before. We played with good practice dudes and then they get in the game, they hot garbage. Yeah, so I understand that.
You
But
know,
and to your point, I agree. I think it's accurate. I think Staub is from that game against Delaware. He looked more accurate, man, and as far as where the ball placing the ball where it needs to be.
yeah.
Um, and how that relates to UNC. And somebody said it in the chat. I think it was big uh big yeah. What's our boy name? He just said it in the chat.
Big Reg.
Big Reg. Because I'm not looking at my the chat right now. So Big Reg just said it that Max Johnson looked when Max Johnson got in the game when we were getting our ass tore out the frame and he finally came in. We moved the ball down the field, and they still had their first string in too. And we went down the field and scored. So, and a lot of people after that say, "Hey, Max Johnson need to be your QB because as far as getting the ball where it needs to be and timing, he's the better quarterback right now."
And my bad, Jada6 said that, not Big Red.
Yeah, Jada 6. Yeah, Jada 6. I knew it was either Big Red Jada 6 said that. So I agree with Jada 6. I want to see if when we step up in competition against Central Florida, if we don't move the ball, having a hard time moving the ball, I think we need to make that switch to Max Johnson.
I agree.
And that's a good story as well. As far as being a comeback player. And I know Coach Max Johnson is a former LSU quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Coach is not a fan of Max Johnson, but hey,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? If he got an arm on him, and to me, he looked better than Gio Lopez. Gio Lopez does a lot of things, a lot more things as far as running, scrambling, doing stuff off route. But hey, sometimes we need that timing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like to just sum it all up, college football is not like the NFL. The NFL, you got 17 games. Colorado has already played 2 games. They only got 10 left. So you need to find out who your starting quarterback is going to be and get it going. You know what I mean? So, that's why he's like, hey, all right, who wants to play? Who's showing up today? Hey, 12, you ready? No. 3, you ready? No. Stop, you ready? All right, let's go. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it comes down to that too. Who's ready to play? So.
And Brock Purdy just threw a pick not too long ago.
Damn.
Where Mr. Shelton at? You know he ain't in chat today.
Sheldon's with the other sharecroppers at their local bar watching the game. That's all. Wait.
That's fucked up.
He in the boom boom room watching the game.
No. He had not the boom boom room. He had the barn house, sitting on a bale of hay watching the game.
Not the barn house. Yeah, man. Speaking of NFL, man, to top off the show, man, let's go into week 1 scores, and we're gonna go into our week 2 predictions in the NFL, man. So, Eagles Thursday night beat the Cowboys in a wonderful game, 20-24. Chiefs lose to the LA Chargers 21-27 on Friday. And we're going to go into the games today. Colts blow out the Miami Dolphins 33-8.
Told y'all.
And I think I was the only one to get this right. Steelers, it hurt me to pick them. But it was a good game by the Jets. Steelers beat Jets 34-32.
Yeah, you were a muff kick away from everybody on the panel being right and your ass being wrong.
That was one hell of a kick too, boy.
Yeah, Justin Fields did
He you
his
know
thing.
he muffed old boy muffed the punt when
Yeah,
when the defense stopped the Steelers. But hey, Aaron Rodgers, no hate here. Aaron Rodgers look good. Like he can still play.
yeah. When the wait till the season
It's
get
just week
longer,
one
man.
though, buddy.
Yeah, thank you, coach. when when that Ben Gay break out, he gonna start. He gonna,
When it start getting cold outside, when you gonna see it?
I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. Um, Jaguars beat the Panthers 26-10. Sorry, Jada6. He's a Panther fan in the chat. Um, Byron Young looked shaky. Um, it's just game one, but the Panthers ain't look too hot. Uh, Travis Hunter looked okay. He caught a couple of passes, but he helped him get a couple of first downs, so he had a decent showing. But for a first round pick, he need to do more. Cardinals beat the Saints 2013. Coach, you catch your Saints?
Actually, I did. You know, the last maybe like 18 hours or so is like a blur. You know, we left Southern game. We caught a little bit of that LSU Louisiana Tech traffic, and then we stopped, got something to eat on the way home. Dropped my nephew off. My mom and I came to the crib. We went and fixed communion for church today. We had I did a live stream at around like 20 minutes to midnight. Then we had midnight prayer. Then I got up early this morning. I went and served communion. We had Sunday school. Then we had church, regular church service. Then we served somebody communion after church. Then I went and dropped people off after that. Then I watched what I could of the Saints. I'm not gonna lie. I think Spencer Rattler did better than people thought he would do. I think the Saints offense is decent. The Saints defense played decent at times, but I think the Saints defense is not a dominant defense. I think if they're the dominant defense with the offense they have, I think they'll be good. But honestly, I felt much better about the Saints loss than I did about Southern loss. And that's just to be honest,
Yeah. Okay. All right. Stephen
I
Boone
mean,
said,
one of my
"Fly
former
Eagles
coaches would
fly."
tell me, I don't mean to cut you off, bro. One of my former
No, you
coaches would
good?
tell me, no such thing as a good loss. But if I feel like you had a chance to win at the end of the game, if you had hope, it's encouraging moving forward. Whereas the two losses Southern got, like they look like trash in both of them.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. And we got an Eagle fan in the building, Stephen Boone. He says, "Fly Eagles fly," and he agreed with me. He says Tua is trash. Jada6 said, "Hey Siri, play Return of the Mac for the Wilson Fields connection." Yeah, they look good. They look good, man. Receivers have to help Bryce out. I didn't watch all of the game. So JD6, a lot of the receivers was dropping passes. I hope it wasn't Xavier Leggett because he can't afford to be dropping no passes.
And I like Xavier Leggett. You know what I'm saying? Touch your boy, but he can't be dropping passes.
Because they just drafted oh boy.
McMillian
Yeah,
from Arizona.
So that was the
They will
reason why
cut his country ass.
yeah. For real. Giants lose to the Commanders 21-6. I think everybody picked the Commanders. Buccaneers came back and beat the Falcons 23-20. Penix was balling, man. Okay. But in the bright side for the Falcons fans, they got a quarterback that looks like in Michael Penix. What you about to say, Big Joe?
I was gonna say the kicker, he ended up missing the field goal, which is why they lost the game. You know what I'm saying? So hey, Bryce Young put him in position to win, but folks dropped them balls in the end zone and kickers missing field goals. It's the NFL, baby. You need all three phases of the game to win.
Yes, sir. You ain't lying. Bengals, AFC rival matchup. Bengals barely beat the Browns 17-16. Man, Myles Garrett had back-to-back sacks, bro. He was doing what he wanted to that offensive line.
That's why you pay Myles Garrett all that money. And if you were to tell me that Joe Burrow only had 118 yards passing the whole game and won, I would say you crazy. But hey, that's how garbage the Browns is.
Yeah, and they Joe Flacco threw for one touchdown and threw 2 picks. So JB was right. But to be fair, one of them picks, the wide receiver.
Two of them picks. I have to be real with you, even though I don't like the Browns. Two of them picks hit the receivers in their hand. Them motherfuckers, it bounced off their hand right into the other player's hand. So they gotta catch it. Judy and I think both was Jerry Judy. I gotta go look at it. But
no, one was like another guy, like number 19. Yeah,
Tillman.
but
Tillman.
Yeah.
Cedric Tillman. There you go.
Well, I gotta ask y'all a question. As Shador played, y'all think they would have won, or you don't think it would have made a difference?
I think they could have had a better chance of winning. I think I don't. Here in the Baller Show, we don't back down off our stance. If we wrong, we men on here will say we wrong. But as of now, I think Shador Sanders is the best quarterback they got on their roster. And I told you what Joe Flacco is. He will give you a chance to win. He'll maybe win you 5 games. After that 5 games, he's going to throw hospital balls. He's going to throw picks. He's going to take sacks. All that.
Yeah, I still say Shador is the better quarterback, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think so. What you think, Big Joe?
I think it don't matter who the Browns quarterback is, they're gonna keep on losing because they're just a losing organization. The stats that Flacco has, the stats that Shador supposed to have as a rookie. But Flacco is an 18-year vet. You ain't supposed to have no stats like that. You're supposed to have enough leadership and enough veteranism to get your team over the hump. So, hey, I look like Shador is the best quarterback.
All right, I agree. Stephen Bloom said Brown should have won that game. Field goal kicker missed 2 kicks. Yes, he sure did. Like Big Joe said, all 3 phases of the game has to mesh.
The whole organization trash. And that's why Myles Garrett said, "I'm gonna keep on losing. At least make the cushion be a lot easier when I fall on that money."
Yeah. Man, salute grown. Salute with grown with soul, my brother, man. He said, salute, family, man. Good brother there, man. Good channel. Please support.
Hey, I'm just saying, man. I won't play here no more. Trade me. I'm sick of this. Y'all suck. The whole team suck. I can't do this.
One of the brothers, I'm gonna hit you up,
man. Let me go. I'm Myles Garrett. I'm the best player. I want to go somewhere else. You're gonna give me $45 million. Go Dogs. I'm just saying. Hey, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
go Dogs.
That's true. Brent Fox said Joe agreed. If your team is just the name of a color, just know you not special.
Oh, that's a good one. Shout to look to the Steelers fan in here. He felt real good today, boy. He was a man. Hey, wait a minute. Hold on. Speaking of, you were the most critical of Aaron Rodgers.
There you go.
Huh? The most critical. How you feel about his performance today?
It's just week one, Joe.
Now he talking spicy today. Man, you talking spicy today. Okay. It is week
Hey,
one. You're right.
let
Hey,
them flex
it's
a
just
little
week.
bit. It's week
Uh,
one.
okay.
It's just week
You're,
one.
you're right. When it starts getting cold and the
I don't
bones
think he's
start
gonna be
getting
doing
hollow,
week 17.
huh? Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
He ain't gonna be doing that week 17.
Okay,
He might.
okay.
He might even week 17. It might be who the backup quarterback? Actually, it might be Will Howard. Ain't that your boy? Brent, you want Will Howard, ain't you? Week 17, we might get Will Howard in there, getting some reps in. I don't think the Steelers gonna make the playoffs.
Damn. We definitely gonna see. Big Red host of Big Boy Talk said crazy how the Ravens went from Tyler Huntley. Went for Tyler Huntley and he was the Browns' fifth string quarterback. Yeah. Well, we needed a backup quarterback bad because homeboy
Devin Leary.
Devin Leary was hot garbage. Horrible. The Steelers got lucky and the Jets believed that B. Steph could play, otherwise they lose that game. Damn, no, don't blame it all on B. Steph.
No, but you know what though? Brandon Stevens did drop a interception that would have won them that game. Hit him right in his head. Hey, Aaron Rodgers threw it right to him.
Yeah.
Well, that's why DBs play defense because they just wide receivers who can't catch. That's all. I mean,
Yeah. And Brent
Yeah,
True.
Fox
I
said
see what the Ravens done.
Brent Fox said his performance was good. We will see what Rodgers does during adversity. Okay. And we got a Colts fan in there. Only Jay Barr said, "Go Colts."
boy, let me find out Daniel Jones is better in the Colts than he is in the Giants uniform. We find out now.
Boy, that shocked
I
me, didn't it?
told you. No, they ain't shocked me. I told you that
What's
if you run the game, if you run, and they did exactly what they supposed to do against with somebody like Daniel Jones. You run the damn ball. You give them short, easy routes. Once that defense comes up to stop the run, you hit them. You put them over the head. You throw it over the top. And that's basically what they did. And the coach defense, I told y'all, the coach defense is going to be good this year. They got two monsters in the middle, DeForest Buckner
Rover
and
Stewart.
Rover Stewart,
shout out to Buckner, good dude. Shout out to Buckner.
and then they always got somebody on the edge that can rush the passer, Latu and what's that boy from Michigan?
Yeah.
Putty Pay.
Yeah, a lot of two went to UCLA, I think, didn't
Yeah, he did.
he? Yeah, okay, yeah. Hey, Daniel Jones played more like Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson played like Daniel Jones. They didn't shift bodies and shit.
Yeah, and then they got a good secondary too. They got Moore over there, Kenny Moore. They got that boy Bynum, us playing safety that used to be on that Minnesota defense that was good. And then they got Tre'Davious Ward that used to be with
Chiefs.
the 49ers. The 49ers and the Chiefs. So they got something going over there with the coach. Y'all try to tell y'all.
It's just game one, but they look good. Brent Fox said Maga Mason is our backup.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Okay, and let me finish the scores, fellas. And then we have the Raiders beating the Patriots 2013. What was Ashton Genty score? He had just 38 yards, 19 carries, but he did score his first NFL touchdown. So congratulations to that young.
Oh, you said 19 for 38?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And the 49ers right now, so the rest of the games are in play, meaning they're playing right now. So the 49ers in the fourth quarter with 8 minutes and 10 seconds to go. The 49ers and Seahawks are tied. The Titans it's the end of the third quarter, going into the fourth. The Titans are down by 1 against the Broncos, 13-12.
Bo Nix threw 2 picks.
Yeah. Josh don't like Bo Nix for some reason. Um, Packers are beating the Lions 17-6 in the fourth quarter. Just 12 minutes and 33 seconds to go. And the Houston Texans, are down against the LA Rams 14-9 with just 1 second left in the third quarter. We're about to go to the fourth. Man, the Lions need to. Yeah, it's just game one, so I'm not gonna panic. But I thought the Lions gonna have a better showing than this.
They did lose their defensive coordinator.
That's true. Yeah, Aaron Glenn is over there with the Jets. Now we're gonna go into our week 2 picks, y'all. Commanders Packers. Who you got, Big Joe?
Commanders.
Coach.
Commanders.
JB.
You said Commander Packers?
Yeah.
Packers.
All right. Giants Cowboys.
Cowboys. They gotta get a win somewhere. I mean,
yeah, Cowboys.
Okay. Of course I picked Commanders for the first game, and then for the Giants Cowboys. Steelers Seahawks.
Seahawks. Fuck the Steelers.
Damn.
Oh man. Steelers.
Seahawks.
I got the Seahawks too. Rams Titans.
Ooh. Rams. The Rams D line is nasty. I'll say the Rams.
I say the Rams too. I like Cam Ward, man. I'm rooting for him, but I got the Rams.
I got Rams.
I'm going Titans.
Okay.
I like how Ward is playing, man. I think he's going against the best. The Broncos got the best pass rush team and pass rush defensive team in the league last year. So, he's trying to keep his team in the game. I just, for some reason, I don't know. I think the Titans pulled that out for some reason. I may be wrong.
Okay. Also, Brock Purdy just threw another interception. That's 2 on the day. 2.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Shelton.
Oh yeah, he's somewhere mad as hell right now. Bills Jets. I'm gonna go Jets.
I got the Jets.
I got the Bills.
Jets. Fuck it.
Okay.
Bet on black.
Dolphins Patriots.
Oh man.
Patriots.
Man, that's a scrap game.
Patriots.
That's Patriots. I got Patriots.
The Dolphins let Daniel Jones put 30 over. You don't think Drake May can been Patriots?
I think the Dolphins coach be doing too much cocaine, so I'm gonna go with the Patriots.
Damn.
He be looking like Grand Theft Auto Vice City character. Come on, man.
Damn.
You do, man. Hey, man. When he was out here in the Bay Area, he didn't look like that. Now he out here looking like he didn't snorting up everything. Come on, man.
Damn, you said he looked like Ken Rosenberg. Damn. But anyway.
Just saying.
But Jaguars Bengals.
Ooh.
I got
I'm
Jaguars.
gonna say Jaguars. Yeah.
Jags.
I'm going with the Bengals.
Ooh. Oh, hey, where they playing at?
They playing at the Bengals,
Mm.
Cincinnati.
After what I seen today, I'm going to Jaguars.
Oh, 49ers Saints.
I know who coach going with, so I'm gonna say it for him, Saints. Let me see.
Yeah. After what I saw from Spencer Rattler today, yeah, I'm definitely picking the Saints.
I'm picking Saints too, believe it or not.
Yeah, fuck it. We're gonna be on. We're gonna win and lose. We're gonna ride or die with Coach Saints. Fuck it.
Wow, go with the Saints, I guess. Gumbo for everybody.
Gumbo for everybody. Uh, Browns Ravens.
Oh, Ravens.
Easy money. Lamar Action Jackson in the eventual 2025 2026 NFL MVP year, dude.
Yes, sir.
Man, the Ravens gonna beat the dog shit out the Browns. I can't wait.
I couldn't wait till the dog poo came out, you know.
Hey, don't be like that. Brent Fox talking. Yeah, pick. You know who to pick. Stephen Boone said Travis versus Chase. Yeah, that's gonna
Man,
be
Chase gonna cook the shit out of Travis Hunter, man.
Yeah, Travis ain't that type of. He not
Travis
that
ain't
type of
ready
DB. He more of a Richard Sherman. He a cover. He not man to man. If he try to man to
But
man, he gonna get burnt.
but that boy Newsom who was covering Chase all day, hey, he locked Chase up now. Hey,
Yeah. I mean
I don't know. I don't
Browns
know.
got good defense, man. They just need somebody on offense. That's
I
all.
don't know if it works like with the division rivalry games. You're gonna have these stalemate games like this. But yeah, Newsom, yeah, he looked like he might be a Pro Bowler this year, locking up Chase like that.
okay. All right. Bears Lions.
Oh man.
Bears.
Lions.
Bears.
Bears.
Oh, okay, all right, okay. By myself, no problem.
Wait, hold. It may be a short game. Cause tomorrow it's a short week for them. Cause tomorrow they playing the Vikings, so they may be a little bit banged up. I don't know. So, but I'm still picking the Bears.
Brent Fox
Broncos
picked the Bears
Colts.
too.
Okay.
I like what they doing over there in Chicago in the
Man,
offseason.
get
So
your
we'll
ass up
see.
here and say that. Get your ass up here and say that, then Brent Fox. I'm in the chat talking. No, I'm playing.
Broncos Colts.
Oh man,
I got
Colts.
Hey,
I got Broncos.
what Deion say? I believe in Eli when he was on NFL Network. I believe in Jones. I'm going for the Colts now.
Yeah. Not because he a wonderful quarterback. That running attack with JT and DJ Gideons is gonna be an issue.
Yep.
As long as
Sean
he just Sean Payton getting his ass whooped right now. So
It's all good. This is week 1, buddy.
yeah, you right.
Yeah. Everybody say it's only week 1 until you get your ass whooped in week 5.
Well, hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. Hey,
It's just week 1. It's just week 2. It's just week 3. And it's still early.
Then I had so many seasons as a Saints fan where the Saints start out 5-0, and I'm like, man, these boys gonna be a team to beat, and the bottom fall out. So guess what?
It's funny when a team loses, it's just week 1. When a team wins, it's just week 1. So either way, But I think it's just funny.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, Brent, man. Spend time with your son, man. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, that's more important, bro.
Hey, that's a blessing, there, bro.
Hey,
You
man,
got a
hey,
son, I
bro,
ain't got mine yet.
it's excuse me, Brent. My bad, brother. I'm sorry. Jokey jokey. My bad. I know you won today. Now you talking tough. Like, look, I ain't got to talk to these niggas today. I won. I'm gonna sit here and hang out with my son. Y'all niggas talk. I'm gonna listen. I got you. No problem, Brent. I got you. My bad, dog. I'm sorry. My bad. My bad.
Hey, that's a
Yeah,
blessing, Brent.
yeah,
Hey, you
definitely
got
a
a son.
blessing.
I'm waiting for my sons. You know.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Um, Panthers, Cardinals.
Cardinals. Cardinals, man.
Cardinals.
Yeah.
Without Sonny J.
I don't. Yeah, the Carolina just they look like the same old Carolina to me. Unfortunately, I'm rooting for Bryce Young and the boys, but Card-
I'm picking. I don't want to pick the Panthers so bad, but I don't be lying to myself. I got Cardinals. Um. Oh, another good one. Uh.
What's the good one, buddy?
Uh. Eagles, Chiefs.
Ooh, you're right. That is a good one. I'm going with the Eagles.
Where they playing at?
The Chiefs.
Mm. Taylor Swift gonna be there. Everybody gonna be watching. AJ Brown didn't get the ball that much. I'm a little. He might start reading books on the sideline again. You know, I don't know. Chiefs wide receivers can't catch either. I'm going with the Eagles. Fly Eagles fly.
I'm going with Chiefs.
What?
Andy Reid ain't gonna let them boys lose twice.
I got Chiefs too, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. What you got,
Chris
coach?
Jones. Chris Jones was pissed, so I don't think he gonna let Barkley go off.
Man, he need to get mad at himself. He the one that crashed it on the
He
inside when
did
he was
give up that
in.
last
Yeah.
play. Yeah, you're right.
Man, that's his fault. Get mad all you want to.
He did. Coach, who you got? You on mute if you talking, or we can't hear you.
The backwoods got him.
Huh?
We can hear you now, Coach.
Eagles versus Chiefs. Who you got?
Oh, I'd already picked the Eagles.
Oh, we ain't hear
Okay,
you, man.
Oh,
okay. We ain't hear you, brother. Okay, Eagles. Okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
All right.
I went first. I went first.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
oh,
So me and Coach versus y'all two then. Okay. Okay. All right.
yeah. Eagles, Vikings. Oh, excuse me, Falcons, Vikings. Wrong bird. Falcons, Vikings.
Mm,
I'm going with the Vikes.
I'm going with the Penix Junior experience. I'm going with the Falcons.
I'm going with the
me
Falcons.
too. I don't know how the Vikings gonna look this year. And I don't know if JJ McCarthy is gonna be that dude. I think they was thinking that Sam Darnold was gonna be Daniel Jones, but it looks like he learned how to play quarterback like he did in college. So I don't know what JJ McCarthy is, so I'm going with the Falcons.
Okay. Saying I'm going with the Falcons as well.
But hold up.
Bucket.
Did Big Joe compare Michael Penix Jr. to Michael Vick?
I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm not comparing him to Michael Vick. I'm comparing the buzz around the Falcons to everybody's hype. They got a black quarterback again. He can run the ball.
The
He's a
Michael
little.
Vick
He,
experience, right?
he does a lot around this city. A lot of good things I hear about him. He's not Michael Vick. He's not even Michael Vick-ish, but everybody love him in the city just like they love Michael Vick. So that's why I equated to that. So
Okay,
All right, all
okay.
right, all right. I got you. I got you.
I
Thank
would
you.
never. That is blasphemous, boy. Michael Vick was
Right?
that dude. For everybody, I saw somewhere they said, "Oh, Michael Vick wasn't even that good." Boy, I
Right?
No,
see,
they don't know ball.
man, I seen that on
They
Twitter
don't know
all the man.
ball.
Man, oh man, Michael Vick wasn't that good, man. Man, I just slap fire to your mouth. Y'all crazy? Michael, see,
Man,
you
you
know
know
they
how
don't
many
listen to
you know how many
fans, but
man, you know
huh?
how many teams would have gave up 5 quarterbacks to get a Michael Vick? Man, come
Man,
on, man, cut it out, man.
man.
Michael
If
Vick
you
was
want to
that
ask
dude.
about Michael Vick, ask about the folks who had to play against him. Ask
Oh,
about the
really?
folks who had to cover Michael Vick. Come on now, y'all crazy.
With no receivers.
No, Michael Vick and Algie Crumpler, and that's it.
Yeah,
Warwick Dunn. Warwick
Shout
Dunn
out to
used to be dumped.
Algernon Crumpler.
telling you, man.
Brian Finneran.
Yeah, man, Michael Vick was that dude, man. Y'all crazy.
Telling you, man.
Yeah, I don't know how many quarterbacks would have done something with T.J. Duckett and Warwick Dunn and Algie Crumpler, man.
Michael Vick was killing dudes when they were playing on carpet. Niggas is wearing tennis shoes and playing ball. Y'all crazy. Ain't even no spikes, just tennis shoes out there.
I'm telling you, man. Um, Buccaneers, Texans.
Texans.
Nah, I gotta go with the Buccaneers. Texans ain't look that good at all. They all O line garbage. I gotta go with the Buccaneers.
Yeah,
Bucks
my
too.
man Stroud getting tapped. He getting frustrated because he can't carve these dudes up how he want them. So I'm going. So they get their O line fixed. Yeah, I'm going with the Bucks.
Then we're gonna have a California game. LA versus LA versus LA. No, LA versus Los Angeles. I'm sorry. Still
What?
West Coast though. Las Vegas versus LA Chargers.
The
Hey,
Superchargers.
what?
The
Rams and Chargers?
Superchargers.
This is the LA game.
No,
I mean,
the Raiders and the Chargers.
Mm-hmm. Las Vegas
okay,
versus
man.
Chargers.
Okay. Oh, okay.
My bad. I was still thinking they were still in
Boy,
LA.
boy,
Go.
you,
He said
And Oakland, you thought
LA,
boy, boy, he
he
messed
said
me up.
The LA Raiders against the LA Chargers.
Boy,
My
going back to
bad.
Bo Jackson
I
days,
like
boy.
that. I like that.
Yeah, man. They moved so many damn
For
times.
real,
So.
huh?
Hey, man, that's why I ain't a fan no more, man. You ain't gonna be following y'all around. Who you think y'all is, man?
But who y'all got? Vegas versus Chargers.
I got the
Not gonna lie,
Superchargers.
man. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. Chargers look good, bro. I'm on the road with the Chargers.
oh man, I love how Omari Hampton and Najee Harris and they quarterback
Justin Herbert.
uh, Justin Herbert looks good. He always looked good until he get into the playoffs and
Mm-hmm.
blew through about 4 picks. But Chargers,
I got Chargers. Yeah,
Okay.
got Chargers as well, man. But like I said, there's a game still going on, man. The Texans and Rams are still playing. Titans and Broncos still playing. 49ers and Seahawks still playing. And Lions and Packers. And then we got the Ravens versus Bills later on tonight. And then as well as tomorrow, Vikings versus Bears. So we got football, ladies and gentlemen. So I want y'all to enjoy it. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up, man. Appreciate everyone that came in and just came by and just listened to us chop it up, man. But Coach, let everyone know where they can meet you and see you.
You can catch me at Coach 67 Sports TV on all social media platforms. However, I am primarily here on YouTube. Probably at some point today, maybe early tomorrow, I'm gonna give my prediction for Terrence Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. In addition to that, I'm go ahead and give, just do episode 4 of the tailgate party. So y'all come through to my channel, check me out. Y'all have a blessed, phenomenal evening. Peace and blessings.
All right, and Big Joe, let everybody know where they can meet you and see you, and also school them about Old Hillside Bourbon Company.
Yes, sir. You can catch me on all LDBC platforms, showing love to the brothers and sisters of the mighty. You dig? If y'all looking for some good whiskey, some good bourbon, look for some for a nightcap. Even though we just had a holiday, we got some more holidays coming up. Whether it's gonna be Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, or even birthday. This is a good birthday gift. Please check us out at Old Hillside Bourbon Company. Old Hillside Bourbon Company. That's it 3 times like Umar Johnson. Old Hillside Bourbon Company, black-owned whiskey company built on Black history and built on legacy and built on greatness. So grab your bottle of Old Hillside and have you a taste of history. So salute to everybody. This is football Sunday. We got football today, football tomorrow. Everybody enjoy the games. Everybody check out your local high schools, your local junior colleges and colleges. Support everybody, who's coaching, who's helping out. Even check out some little league games. Before you know it, football's gonna be over with, and we're gonna be looking at hockey. So everybody enjoy this time, and shout out to my dog S. Beasley for dropping by. Shout out to his son Xavier. You know what I mean? Shout out to his son Xavier. He's a phenomenal editor. You know what I mean? So I'll put his video again in the comments, and then shout out to my daughter, the best daughter in the world. I know she'll catch the replay. She's a sophomore in high school working on college credits already on the weekend. So baby, I see you, and you know what I mean. So thank you for catching the replay, and everybody have a good week, and don't kiss some hoes in the mouth.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Don't kiss them hoes in the mouth. And JB, any final words for us, man?
Oh man, like you said, man, I'd like to echo what you said, Jared. Just enjoy this football Sunday and Monday, and then we got, like Coach said, we got fight week coming up with Terrence Crawford. Everybody on here is pretty much team Terrence Crawford, staying
Yes,
with
sir.
the brother. They fight, going against Canelo. Y'all have a fantastic work week, and keep fighting for your dreams. Don't give up, and I'll talk to you next episode.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, salute to the LDBC, your dead gang.
Always shout out to the LDBC, man. The family, man. But this was another installment of the Southern Baller Show. Y'all be blessed.
Peace and blessings, your dead.